Hi everyone, Paisley here, and today I'm going to tell you all about update 1.3.1. Now, there's a lot of new exciting things coming, but also some things I'm going to be sad to see go. So let's dive right in. First, let's talk about the new map type being introduced with this patch, and that's called Shattered Seas. Shattered Seas is basically like a Pangaea map, but the land is divided into smaller islands that are big enough for a couple of settlements, but also allow for naval play. This is basically what I hoped Archipelago would be, because I love to meet all of my civilizations in Antiquity Age rather than waiting for distant lands to unlock in Exploration Age, but Pangaea just wasn't very good for naval civs like Carthage or Axum. I think the only issue that still stands for me is that on regroup, your boats disappear between age, and I'd really like to see them introduce a fleet commander in Antiquity Age so that you get to keep not all of your boats, but at least the ones that'll fit in a commander, just like land units do. But keeping on the topic of maps, they have also introduced improvements to biomes. You may have seen on Reddit lots of complaints about the sort of tiramisu effect of maps where every biome was basically layered on top of each other in a very predictable fashion. Now all maps will have more unpredictable biomes. From what I understand, there's going to be more wet and dry patches dispersed throughout the entire map, rather than just a line of plains, for example. I'm not sure how this is going to affect terrain, meaning, for example, vegetation or rough or wet terrain on top of the biomes, but I guess we'll have to pull up a game and see. This patch also introduces a new wonder to the game, the Great Library, which provides +4 science base and +1 science on science buildings across your empire. This is going to be one of the strongest wonders in the Antiquity Age, as most empire-wide wonders are, and it also has 3 codex slots. It is unfortunately unlocked at the Mathematics Tech Mastery, meaning you probably won't be getting this late into the game, and the later a wonder is in the tech tree, the harder it's going to be to get on Deity. So it remains to be seen how much they prioritize the Great Library and how competitive it's going to be. One major change that they kind of snuck in here is under miscellaneous, and it says navigation is now a prerequisite for future tech in the Antiquity tech tree. So if you don't know what that means, basically to get to future tech pre-patch, you could have just totally ignored navigation, getting there as soon as possible. Now you need to actually finish navigation technology to get to the end of the tree. I think this is going to have a big impact on people's games, and you can just expect to get less future techs than you had been before. Other new things coming with this upgrade include whales and fish now spawning in ocean tiles in modern age, and also crabs can spawn on navigable rivers. This is going to be great for Egypt, and having more diversity on navigable rivers will just be nice to see. This patch will also address some really important bugs in the game. The first one has to be the change to the Shawnee unique improvement. Basically, the Mawaskawe Skote would double its culture on the improvement every time you built a new one, giving you basically infinite amount of culture. This made the Shawnee unplayable for me because it was just too easy to hack, and now that should be fixed. So hopefully we'll get some more Shawnee gameplay on this channel soon. Another amazing change coming is that army commanders will now gain XP when they have upgraded command radius in that second ring of tile. I didn't even know it was a bug. I thought this was just a design choice, but one I never really liked, so I'm happy it's changed now. Clay resource tiles were not actually getting production bonuses from technology or warehouse buildings, and now they will. It's going to be one of the best resources to spawn in your games. One UI change that I'm excited to see is that when you open up another player's diplomacy panel, you can now see traditions. Previously, it was just leader and civ abilities, but I really think traditions needs to be included here, as well as on your own civ, as well as in the start menu. Okay, let's get into civs, buffs, and nerfs. The one we were all waiting for, but honestly we're kind of sad to see, is the nerf to Egypt. Basically, minor rivers are out and all of their buffs just apply to navigable rivers. So where before you could get 1 culture, 2 food, 2 production on both improvements and districts on both navigable rivers and minor rivers, they have just basically cut out minor rivers on all of these bonuses. They also nerfed their ability to get wonders, where it used to be plus 15% towards wonders, doubled for wonders in desert terrain. Now it is plus 10% production towards wonders, doubled for desert terrain, meaning plus 20%. They still maintain plus 2 production on wonders in deserts. Sticking with the Antiquity Age, let's move on to Carthage. Carthage, unfortunately, is getting a huge nerf. Previously, their naval units had +1 range, making it the strongest boat in that era. Now they just get +5 combat strength when at full health. This is kind of disappointing to see, but maybe with the new Shattered Seas map, it's not going to be as awful as I'm imagining. A couple of modern age civs are also getting nerfed, America and Russia. Honestly, I don't play the modern age all that often, so you can look at the patch notes to sort of see how this is going to impact your gameplay. And finally, Buganda, I was really hoping for a huge buff, but it really doesn't look like it's going to be that. Instead, civilian and support units gain +3 movement while embarked, but honestly, I was hoping to see more so that they would become a competitive choice for the modern age. At this point, there's just not a lot of lakes on any map type. So a lakes map would actually be a great buff to Buganda without even changing the civ. But as it stands, bonuses to lakes are just irrelevant. Well, hopefully this video has helped you parse through the patch notes. Let me know if there is something that I didn't highlight that you think is going to be an important change to the game, and I look forward to streaming this tonight. So join us around 8:30 p.m. EST to see some of these changes in action. Thanks everyone for watching. Bye for now.